Namaskar and welcome friends. Myself Anurag, and in today's lecture we will continue from where we left in our last lecture. In our last lecture we talked about Article 1 of Indian Constitution. We will continue from Article 2 and onwards. We will in this lecture I will try to cover Article 2, 3 and 4 and also will try to solve some MCQ as well. So let's start with Article 2. As per Article 2, it talks about admission or establishment of new states. Parliament may by law admit into the Union or establish new states on such terms and conditions as it thinks fit. So obviously on such terms and conditions, if it wants to admit or establish a new state, obviously it can do so because India is sovereign country. And also we read this in Article 1 that it is Indian Union of State is different from Federation of USA. So here in this article, two words are important: admit and establish. When we talks about admit, we are talking about admitting a new state, which is not part of India. But establish means the territory can be part of India. Why I am saying so? Because in Lakshmikant they have mentioned that Article 2 only pertains, only talks about regarding a foreign territory. But this is not the case. For example, I have many examples, but for example, you can just read the language. They have written admit into the union or establish. If they meant only for foreign territories, they could have written admit or establish into the union. So through this you can assume that what it means. And the problem is that all state reorganization acts or creation of any act hardly mention which act they are, which article they are using in parliament. Generally when it comes to alteration or change of the name, it generally we can generally assume that it is regarding Article 3. We will read Article 3 just in few moments. So they don't mention which article they are continuing with. So we we can assume that Article 2 also means establishment of new state within Indian territories, which is already part of Indian territory, Union of India. Now let's move to Article 3, and this is all for Article 2. And there is also another Article 2A, which was created, which was added through 35th Constitutional Amendment Act, but later repealed in 36th Constitutional Amendment Act by giving full statehood or equal status of statehood to Sikkim. So we don't need to read that because it has been repealed, or they are not going to ask this question. So let's start with Article 3. Formation of new states and alteration of areas, boundaries or names of existing states. Parliament may by law form a new state by separation of territory from any state, by uniting two or more states or parts of any state, by uniting any territory or parts of any state. Increase the area of any state. We can take example, increase Andhra Pradesh. First state on linguistic basis was created, Andhra Pradesh, in 1953 after the death of Ramalu. But they later enlarged its area by merging Hyderabad with it. They did same with when they created Kerala, they merged Calicut, but we don't need to remember all those things. Clause C, diminish any area of any state, any area. For example, they removed the area of Uttarakhand, they created Uttarakhand out of Uttar Pradesh. Earlier they created Uttaranchal, they named it Uttarakhand. D, alter the boundary of any state. Obviously, when you create a new state or diminish the area, you alter the boundary. For example, in 2014, they altered the boundary of Andhra Pradesh and carved out Telangana. He altered the name of any state. They did so many times. For example, as earlier I said, Uttaranchal made Uttarakhand, Odisha become Orisha, Orissa become Odisha. Provided that no bill for the purpose shall be introduced in either house of the parliament except on the recommendation of the president, and unless where proposal contained in the bill affects the area boundaries of or name of any states, the bill has been referred by the president to the legislature of that state for expressing its views thereon within such period as may specified in the reference, or within such further period as president may allow, and the period so specified or allowed has expired. So just read it in layman language. They are not going to ask you uh, the language. You just understand this. When parliament want to form a new state, just take an example of Telangana. First, bill can be initiated with prior recommendation of president. Then bill shall be sent to the concerned state. They sent the bill to the Andhra Pradesh. Now they gave a time limit within which that state shall give its opinion. They agree or disagree with the proposal, and within time period they must respond to the bill. If they don't respond, parliament will proceed without their opinion, and president can also extend the time limit within which they have to respond. Now they give opinion or they don't give opinion, it doesn't matter. As I said, in B.R. Ambedkar said, union has more power. In Article 1, Union of India, why we used union. So if they don't agree, it doesn't matter. Bill can be introduced either of the house, and if passed, they can create a new state. Now, in this regard, obviously they have given more power to the states, but there was a case of Babulal Parate versus state of Bombay in 1959. Obviously, earlier it was not Maharashtra and Gujarat. It came under the state of Bombay. So in this case, Supreme Court held that it is President's discretion how much time it can give to the state, concerned state, for their opinion, and also it is within President's discretion if President want to extend that time period. So this is a simple judgment. Also, there is another judgment which we will discuss in Article 4. That is Berubari Union case, 1960. It talks about Article 3, Clause C. Okay, but we will discuss with when we talk Article 4 because it is more concerned with Article 4. And other is there is another Constitutional Amendment Act, 18th Constitutional Amendment Act. So, as per 18th Constitutional Amendment Act, the term state used in Clause A and Clause E, Clause A and Clause E also have the meaning of union territories. So, by merging, uniting any territory or any state, two or more states. So, obviously, uniting two or more union territories. So, we can take example of recently they did Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman Diu. They merged it and made it a single union territory, and alter the name of I have told you the example of the state for Uttaranchal to Uttarakhand. Same, we can take example of UT, Pondicherry. So they changed its name from Pondicherry to Puducherry. So this is all for Article 3. You just need to remember that bill can be introduced in either of the house and with president's recommendation, and state's opinion does not matter. But a bill should be sent to the concerned state for their opinion, and state must respond within a given time limit. Now, let's talk about Article 4. Article 4. Laws made under Article 2 and 3 are provided for amendment for the first and fourth schedule and supplemental, incidental, and consequential matters. So, let me read the language and I will tell you the. I will explain it in layman language. Any law referred to Article 2 and 3 shall contain any provisions for amendment of first schedule and fourth schedule as may necessary to give effect the provision of law may also contain such supplemental, incidental, and consequential provisions, including provisions as to representation in parliament as in the legislature or legislature of states or states affected by such law as parliament may deem necessary. No such as law aforesaid shall be deemed as amendment of this constitution for the purpose of Article 368. Now, first, we should understand clause 2. By clause 2, it means whatever bill or law made under Article 2 and 3 shall be considered can be done with simple majority. They don't need to do through Article 368, that is Constitutional Amendment Act. It means that they can be done through simple majority. Now, for clause 1, it simply means that when you bring the change or bring a law through Article 2 and 3, obviously it will change the structure of states. So obviously change the name. So it has consequential effect in Schedule 1 and Schedule 4. For example, Schedule 1 contains the name of states and union territories. If you change the name, you have to change the names in Schedule 1 as well. Either it's a state or it's a union territory. Same goes with Schedule 4. Schedule 4 contains the provision regarding the seat allocation for the Rajya Sabha. If you are changing the area of any state, for example, you have carved out Telangana from Andhra Pradesh. So obviously, it will also affect the seating arrangements in Rajya Sabha. So for that, you don't need to bring any other bill. It is supplemental, incidental, and consequential for Schedule 1 and Schedule 4. It is as simple as this. You don't need to understand too much. You are not going to become a lawyer or going to. If you want to become, you should become. But for your simple understanding, just understand this. Any laws to bring through Article 2 and 3 to change, that will obviously automatically contains the provisions to change in Schedule 1 and Schedule 4. This is simple as. Now, we should, as I said earlier, we should talk about Berubari Union case 1960. In Berubari Union case, obviously Berubari Union case is just most of us remember is that it serves as a guide to open the minds of the makers of the constitution. We will do preamble because in future videos. So Berubari Union case, but it also have its judgments also is regarding to the have effect regarding to the Article 3 Article 3 clause C. So Article 3 clause C says diminish the area of any state. So when you diminish the area of any state, it's fine if you are giving the area to another state within Indian territory. But if you are giving away area to foreign country or a neighboring country through or any country, or either you are even if you are doing land boundary agreement, that can be done only through Article 368. आप इसको ऐसे सीधे समझ सकते हैं, अगर घर में कोई पैसा ला रहा है, आप जमीन खरीद रहे हैं घर के नाम पर, तो हर कोई खुश होगा, कोई जरूरत नहीं है, सब एग्री कर रहे हैं, एक सिंपल मेजॉरिटी, यू कैन डू इट। लेकिन अगर घर की थोड़ी सी भी जमीन या घर का थोड़ा सा भी पैसा किसी को दिया जाना है, तो पूरा घर बैठेगा और डिस्कस करेगा, हाँ ये हमको देना है कि नहीं है। So this is as simple as that. If India is seceding land to any country, so it can be done only through Article 368. This is as simple as that. For example, you can take example. India did land boundary agreement with India Bangladesh in 2015. So they for this, so India seceded some chunk of land to Bangladesh to settle the dispute. But for this, they have to brought Constitutional Amendment Act, that is 100th Constitutional Amendment Act. So I'm telling you, this is for as simple as this. This is all for Article 2, 3, and 4. But with these articles, we should also remember the chronological order in which states are created, because they have asked this question in previous years in UPSC, but they won't be asking in UPSC the chronological order. But if you are preparing for state civil services, they are asking such kind of question on frequently. For example, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu was created in 1956. Obviously, Delhi, Andaman Nicobar, and Lakshadweep became union territory at that time, 1956. Gujarat and Maharashtra, 1960. As you remember, Babulal Parathe case, 1959. After that, okay. So Goa, 1961, through Police Act. Through Police Act. Haryana, Punjab, Chandigarh was created out of state of Punjab in 1966. Himachal Pradesh and become state in 1971. Nagaland 1963. Manipur, Meghalaya, Tripura 1972. Sikkim 1975. 36th Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay. Constitutional Amendment Act because it was given full statehood and removed the clause 2(8) that was added through 35th Constitutional Amendment Act. Arunachal Pradesh 1987, Mizoram 1987, Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand and Jharkhand in 2000. Now this is the chronological order. It was created first of the month and it was 8th. It was, I think, 15th. So this is the chronological order I have written in not alphabetic order, rather chronological order. Telangana 2014. So in Union Territories, Puducherry was created. It became de jure part of India because de facto it became the part in 1953. But French government took some time to pass the bill in its parliament. Chandigarh 1966, obviously. Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh was created after the abolition of the statehood of J&K and creation of 2 union territories out of that. Dadra, Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. It was created in 2020. Earlier, it was 2 different union territories. So this is the chronological order you should remember, because especially in states, they are asking. Obviously, recently they are asking questions. State Reorganization Act. How state reorganization acts have impacted Union of India, Indian federalism. They have asked in recently in I think in 2000. They asked this question in 2021. Discuss the impact of state reorganization on regional development in India. Provide examples to illustrate your points. In 2021, same question they asked on similar lines in 2018. Examine the role of State Reorganization Commission (SRC) in reshaping the political map of India post independence. How effective were its recommendation? So for that, you should also remember state reorganization acts, state commissions. So there are 3 important commissions. Just I'm giving you an overview. First is Dhar Commission. So when India got independence, there were many princely states. So the commission was created to give its opinion on the formation of the state. So the commission denied states on linguistic base. Rather, it gave opinion to create states based on administrative point of view. It was created in 1948. Okay, then it gave recommendation around same, and then JVP committee, Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel, and Pattabhi Sitaramaiah. It was formed to look into the recommendation of Dhar Commission. So they also denied the creation of states based on language. So, but after in 1953, death of Ramalu, who was demanding statehood for uh, Telugu-speaking people. So after that, they created Andhra Pradesh. So first state which was created on linguistic line in independent India, that is Andhra Pradesh. But if you are asked which state is created on linguistic line in India, if you are if you are if they are not saying in independent India, in independent India it is Andhra Pradesh, no doubt. But in India it is Odisha. This is thus don't need to remember. I'm just telling. So after creation of Andhra Pradesh, there was high demand for creation of states based on language. So they formed Fazal Ali Commission, and it gave its recommendation in 1955. So first of all, Fazal Ali Commission also denied uh, the idea one language, one state, but it gives 4 points on which state shall be created. First was unity and security of India. Second point, linguistic and cultural learning. Third point, financial, economic, and administrative point of view. Sorry. And fourth point was planning and promotion of welfare of people in the state as well as nation as whole. So on these 4 points, State Reorganization Act was passed in 1956. So they are asking questions based on these recommendations and how it affected the Indian federalism. If you want, I can also make video for mains point of view, taking 1 or 2 questions. But for that, I hope you will get it. But just leave a comment if you want to make me video on such topic. I will do that. Let's do some MCQs. In the Constitution of India, the term federal is mentioned in Preamble Part 3 of Indian Constitution, Article 360 of the Constitution, and none of the above. So the term federal is not mentioned in anywhere in the Constitution. I said it in Article 1 as well. You should watch uh, previous video lecture. So this is our point D is correct. Next point is consider the following statements. Parliament is empowered to alter the boundaries of any existing state of India. Correct. A bill pertaining to the alteration of the boundaries of any existing state of India can be introduced only in Rajya Sabha with the prior recommendation of the president. This is correct. Prior recommendation of president is necessary, but only in Rajya Sabha is wrong. So if we go through, C can be introduced in either of the house of the parliament. So this is wrong. So only one is correct. So for this, only one A is correct. Last, um, which of the following is the correct chronological order of the formation as full states of Indian Union? So as you remember, Arunachal Pradesh 1987, Sikkim 1975, Nagaland 1963, Haryana 1966. So if you remember, so you can Nagaland will be first, Nagaland, then Haryana, then Sikkim, then Arunachal. Now this is B. So B is the correct option. So this is all. I hope you understand. Till next class. Take care of yourself. Thanks.